Hey, Plant Pals, Mike the Canna Gardener, and it is January 24th, 2025. And this is what I'm growing inside right now, some of it. And as you can see, I got a bunch of peppers growing in my Bounty harvest system. And this is the one I started. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's really close. There we go. I started this on I don't know when I started this, but when I did I got the seed kit, and as you can see, they are beautiful plants. So these are just peppers. I took the tomatoes out because I had two tomatoes growing that were getting big. So never overcrowd your systems. I got a trellis right here. That's the nice thing about the bounties. It comes with the trellis already, and I can go higher with the trellis. So when the peppers get higher, I can go higher up with it and keep them from falling over and whatnot. But yeah, these are just they're kind of the seed kit. It was really cool, and all the seeds were really viable and beautiful. They kind of didn't name them, so they're just like red pepper, green pepper, red chili pepper, green chili pepper. So I'm not even really bothering with what the names are. They'll show me what they are when they get bigger. Whether it's a bell pepper or because like one said like purple bell and stuff like that, and they weren't very descriptive of what the plants were. But anyway, so I'm very pleased with that. That was a really cool kit because all the plants are just growing beautifully. Be right back. So here's something I'm excited about. This is my red bearded bunching onions. I'm starting these inside. And what I'll do is, and this was an experiment I did last winter, is I grew them and then I put them outside. I come by and I just cut the tops off and use them in my cooking. And this is an AeroGarden sprout model. And I'm using the seed starting deck. And then what I do is I cover it with foil because what happened in the past when I tried to do it, algae would form on the sponges because it's got direct light going right on the sponges and not something leafy that's going to kind of cover them up. So it was really bad and the plants died. So I figured out this cool little trick was that I put foil over the deck, punched holes where the seeds where they would start coming out, and it works. So I don't have any type of algae issues, and they're all peaking up. So hopefully, they'll come up. And the cool part is what I did was, like I said, I cut the tops off, and then I put these outside, and by the time fall came, they were huge. I mean, like monsters. And I've showed it a bunch of times, like in my cooking videos and stuff, all those green onions and stuff were from this, which is really cool. I'm trying an experiment here. I've grown this before years ago. I wasn't that impressed with the flavor, but it was very prolific. The Patio Fire and Ice. They call them all different names. They're all the same pepper. They're just like bird chilies. They're not the most tasting thing, but they're beautiful. But I'm going to grow them to seed. These are very old seeds, so that's what's kind of interest to me. These are like I bought these back before the what. So these are at least 6-year-old seeds, and I want to see if they're viable. Because I did try to plant them outside, nothing really happened. But then we had such a weird spring, into summer where it just rained every single day and it was dark and no sun, and it wasn't great, conducive for growing peppers. So we'll see. And then same thing over here. This is the firecracker peppers, and I'm not really seeing anything, but they can take a month to germinate. So I'm just gonna be patient and kind of just let them do their thing. And if they germinate, they do. They don't, they don't. I mean, like I said, it was an old pack of seeds, and I can, if nothing comes of it, I'll just start something else. So that's kind of fun. Down here are the extras. Like I said, the purple chili and these are all the thinnings from the seed kit that I started. And as you can see, I just use these old unsweetened cranberry juice bottles that you can use any food safe grade bottle, and I just stuck the sponges that I would stick in an AeroGarden. I just stuck it right into the bottle, and I'm not really worried about algae because I can see, and if start something happen, I put a little peroxide in the water, or I'll just change it out. It's not that big of a deal. You know, I used to be really afraid of it. You know, that you had to cover them. You know, and I've not had a problem. I mean, sometimes I'll use like an opaque bottle or whatever, and if I'm really worried about it, I can just wrap some tinfoil around it, or put it in a paper bag and put a rubber bander around the neck to keep the light out. And these are just, you know, this is also just temporary. They're probably not going to live here, but we'll see. And then next to that, over here, these are fig cuttings that I'm trying to root. And I'm seeing a little something happening down there. I mean, it's just a couple days, so we'll see. It'd be really cool if I can get these figs to grow inside. The varieties, I just went out of my head, but they're like 15-foot tall fig trees. We'll see. You know, maybe that's like over so many years or something, but I'm not going to let them get that tall inside, and they won't live outside. But it's a fun experiment. It was really cool. Odom from Odom's Homestead gifted me these cuttings, so I'm really happy with that. All right, be right back. This right here is just another bounty system, like the one I got the peppers in. Oops, I'll knock things over. I'm going to grow some orange hat tomato plants in this one, just because I really enjoy that tomato, and it's prolific. So I'm gonna probably do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 plants, see what happens. Because they do get, you know, they can stay small, but they will spread out if you allow them. And again, don't overcrowd your systems. Even though this is like a 9-pod system, don't use all 9 pods unless it's something really small and skinny like chives, or it's going to be all the same plant like basil, of the same, you know, variety of basil or whatever, so they won't compete with each other, and they won't crowd each other out, and especially if you're going to be harvesting a lot of it. Like I'll fill the whole thing up with lettuce. That's a straight up variety. I'm not going to put a heading lettuce. You know, you can grow maybe, you know, 2 small cabbages or whatever, or 2 small heads of lettuce, but you're not going to be able to do 9 heads of lettuce in these things. And that's my biggest beef with these companies that sell these kits. They'll show like a picture, and I've talked about it years ago in the past, is they would show a picture of like a strawberry plant next to a tomato plant, next to a pepper, next to an apple. It's like, no, doesn't happen. And if it did, it would go terribly. Ask me how I know. All right. So this is the yellow, what they claim to be a yellow cherry tomato, and you can see, it'll focus, there are little flower buds all over here, so that's really cool. And I have if people wonder about pollinating inside, you can just jiggle the plant. It's typically enough, but I do have the AeroGarden Bee the Bee. So it acts like a little bee, and you just go on, you buzz everything. And I got them really cheap. I got them super cheap on sale. And yeah, so this one is the red cherry. Also starting to have little buds on there. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully they don't get too much bigger. The unit can only go like just a little bit higher than what it is. But these did prove to be, the company didn't lie when they said that these were small tomato plants for hydroponics. So, yeah, again, I'm very, very pleased with that. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting anything from them, but, you know, that's pretty cool. Here's another spare. This is just a green chili I just stuck in here. It's kind of getting crowded out. I'm going to move it over to here. Now, this sad fella is the Paul Robeson tomato. And, again, it starts off wonderfully, beautifully. Like in my tower, it completely filled the tower with a beautiful plant. It just doesn't produce. And no one I know, like when I've grown this a few times, I grew it outside, and it puts a flower on, but nothing ever happens. And I've gotten like, of like all the plants, I've gotten like 4 or 5 tomatoes off of them, inside or outside. So I'm kind of done with that. It's a cool story, but not a prolific. I'd rather spend my time growing something that's more prolific. This right here is my Legia pepper. You see, I don't know what happened to this right here. Kind of got knocked or something. Probably when I was trimming, because it's healed, but it's just like a dent. And so, like, probably when I was trimming the leaves up or whatever, I poked it. As you can see, this thing's still producing, and it is absolutely, I don't know if the camera can see it, but it's absolutely loaded with more flowers. So this is kind of the plant that keeps on giving me peppers, which is really awesome. And then again, same thing. I wonder if I can catch this on camera. So you see, where's the? I can't see. There we go. So it's loaded. You can't really see it, but anyway, it's loaded with pollen that rains down whenever I come over and give everything a good buzz. So yeah, that means lots of future peppers. See all these flowers. So what I do is I capture some pollen from one. You don't really have, again, you don't have to really do this. You can just shake the plant. It'll be fine, but you know, it doesn't hurt. Kind of almost guarantees you to get something. And then next to that is my spring Rob broccoli, broccoli Rob. And everyone's come up except for that one in the back. I don't think I put seeds in that hole for some reason. And so I put some seeds in there. Again, this is going to be tall and skinny, so I don't mind filling the whole thing up. And I'll probably have to thin some of these out. But yeah, it's really cool. So I grew the broccoli Rob in the AeroGarden Sprout, and it did really well. But I want to see what's going to do in the much taller, not much taller, but taller harvest that has more room to grow. And if it is something that I really enjoy growing, because it is tasty, it's just broccoli, I will probably set myself up with a different system so it can really grow tall. I'm sure my wife will hate me showing this. This is a big mess, but I've got this rack here, and these are just 5,500 lumen shop lights. I'm going to attach to it. I'm going to clear everything out. I got to rewire everything, rearrange the cords and everything, and that's going to go up against the wall. And I've got a timer. Got a couple timers here. I'm going to try to see which ones I like best, and I got 2 more lights here. So this is going to be a 2-tier rack, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like the protein jugs on the bottom here, and then other like mason jars and stuff up top here, so that they'll each have like 3 feet to grow, and then I can put some units on the top. And there's my tomato. That's where the Paul Robeson was, and so I let it just die off because it's not a good plant. Cool, like I said, cool story. The tomato is delicious, but for the amount of work put into it, the return just isn't there. And nobody I know has gotten great yields off of that plant. Everybody gets like 1 tomato, 2 tomatoes. Right? If you grow like a Roma plant, you'll get like 100 tomatoes off the same amount of effort, and they're delicious. So that's what I'm gonna put my energy into in the future. So this is just, I got like a ton more to set up and do. I'm gonna clear this out, of course, and that's where my fig cuttings are gonna go. So it's gonna be a permanent inside fig, and it'll have 5 feet to grow from the base there. It'll grow, it can get as much as 5 foot tall, and that should hopefully get me some decent fig yields. So yeah, let's just look at what I'm doing inside and what the future is going to hold. And then I've got like probably 15-20 more systems I got to set up besides the cracky jars. I got to clean out the shelf that the sprouts on, and grow a bunch of stuff there. So yeah, it's all fun. I love it. That's a cool thing about growing inside in the winter, is it gives you something to do. The lights, give you that seasonal affectiveness disorder cure, because you get in the full spectrum of light on your skin, and it cheers you up. So I'm very excited. So any comments, questions, leave in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day. Shop light shelving.